start realizing like the business opportunities that came along with, you as a persona, as well as like you as an artist, and how that evolved into what you're doing?
So, as I said, I released my very first album, going way back now to 2006. So I was still in university, and I started out with just making 50 copies, 50 CD copies of my album, and I would just sell them around my university primarily to begin with. And I sold all 50 copies in, I think, about a week or so. And so that was the moment where I realized, oh, you know what? It's one thing people telling me, hey, you're good at rapping, or, I like your music. It's another thing people being willing to pay you for it.
Right.
So when I realized I could do that, the light bulb went off and I was like, oh, okay. If I can sell 50, I can sell 100. I
Yeah.
can sell 100, I can sell 1,000. And I ended up selling 3,000 copies in total of my first album. And that's totally independently. This is, no label, no PR or
Just
promotion or
hustling.
budget or, yeah, just hustling, just, going out and talking to people, playing them my songs and selling my music. And so that was what set off the idea of going, okay, this is something I can do something with this. And then fast forward many years, over time, it's expanded more and more. So it started out with just being the music, primarily everything being CD based. Over time, I started selling my own T-shirts, my "I'm Down with Zuby, Are You" T-shirts. I started selling those. My merchandise expanded into other T-shirts, hoodies, caps, beanies, wristbands. I had my own brand of headphones for several years, which I used to promote and sell. So I expanded into all these other areas. And then last year, beginning of 2019, I started my own podcast, Real Talk with Zuby. I wrote and released my first book, Strong Advice, Zuby's Guide to Fitness for Everybody. I wrote and released that about a year ago now. I think May or June last year I released that, and that sold approaching 2,000 copies now. Again, independently, it's not even on Amazon, just through my own website and through my own means.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I also do elements of coaching. I do fitness coaching, life coaching. I do some public speaking events. Of course, I do live shows, stuff like that. So there are a whole bunch of strings in the bow. And honestly, I just do stuff that I enjoy. I do stuff that I
Hmm.
think I'm good at, and I do stuff that I enjoy. And other people find value in it. Other people appreciate it. And I'm very blessed in that regard to be able to just do the things that I want. I mean, it's taken a crazy amount of work to get there, and things still have
Sure.
a long way to go to get them where I want to be. But I love my life. I feel very blessed. I've got a great fan base. A lot of people out there who really like me and like what I do and like what I say. And I'm on a mission in this world. I'm trying to inspire millions and millions of people, and I know that I will be able to reach that. I just need a time, and it's coming with time. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to fulfill my potential.
No, that's great. I love the whole, producing your own content and being in charge of, you're basically in charge of that destiny, through that. What are your thoughts on remaining independent? Do you have like altruistic vision or views of remaining independent? Do you want to go more mainstream, or try to be, pair yourself with other entities, or is this a part of you that you want to be more on an independent type of basis?
Yeah, man. I mean, I haven't been independent for 13, 14 years to want to go and sell my soul away to a label or anything like that. I
Yeah.
think that would kind of be backwards at this stage.
Yeah.
But for me, I was independent before. It's cool to be independent now.
Hmm.
It's cool to claim to be independent, but it certainly wasn't when I started out. Everybody wanted to be signed. Everybody wanted to be with a label. Nobody thought you could do stuff, by yourself. So
Yeah.
I kind of followed the blueprint that certain independent artists in the US were doing, where I was seeing them printing up their own CDs and mixtapes and hustling and selling in different towns and different cities and stuff. So that was the model that I used to start with. That's really how I built my initial fan base. And both from a creative perspective and from a business perspective, I'm a big fan of independence and autonomy, essentially, especially in business. I don't like to be controlled or be dictated to by other people, or to be forced to do anything that I don't genuinely want to do. So whether it comes to my music or my book or my podcast or anything like that, I mean, I'm open to opportunities. I'm not closed off for people who
Sure.
genuinely
Sure.
want to help me and want to help me further things. I'm totally open to that. But I do think that there's a huge amount of power in independence, And there's always going to be a trade-off in terms of authenticity and integrity and everything like that. If you want to, I mean, I want to grow stuff as big as I can, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my own values or too much sort of control for that to happen. And I'm patient. I'm very hungry, but I'm patient. And I know that I'm on the right trajectory to achieve my goals. So that's simply what I strive for every day. And hopefully by me doing it, I can encourage other people to do the same as well.
Yeah, I think that's great. The world shifted, right? Because when you were doing it in 2006, it was a lot harder to be independent, like you were just saying, right? Like there wasn't the tools to do it. Now there's so many tools to do it with, everything from social to your own podcasting, like I'm doing here with my podcast. I'm curious on your perspective of how that shifted, right? So with there being more tools or more ability to remain independent, does that create other problems for you or for independent artists, in the sense, like, are things too saturated, or is there, I guess, is there more noise out there as a result of it, or does that even
Mhm.
matter?
There's more noise. I don't really believe in saturation though. I
Hmm.
mean, look, we don't. The world doesn't really need any more stuff. We've got enough music. We've got enough movies. We have enough video games. We have enough books. We have enough podcasts. We have enough YouTube videos.
Yeah,
But it's insatiable. You can't saturate in the market because you can always bring something different to what other people are offering.
yeah,
Right? There are however many podcasts, however many songs, however many artists, social media accounts, whatever, but each person is unique. So if you bring something unique to the table, which is easy to do if you are authentic, which is what I am, there's only one Zuby. I don't care how many other rappers there are. I don't care how many other podcasters or authors or fitness people or whatever. It doesn't matter. None of them are me. Right?
yeah,
I'm me. I've got my market cornered. I have my own monopoly as far as I'm concerned.
yeah.
So I think people use that more as an excuse than anything, right? There's no market that's saturated,
You're right.
right? If you think the market is saturated, then I think that's just someone trying to find a way to weasel their way out of something they don't really want to be doing, right? If you write a great book will sell.
Yeah,
If you market it well and there's an appetite for it, it will sell. It doesn't matter if 5,000 people, 50,000 people have already covered a similar topic. It doesn't matter, right? Human beings always want more. Human beings are insatiable. And there's always new, different, and better ways of doing things that already exist. And that's how life goes. We all build upon things that have already been created. It's very rare for anyone to totally create something from scratch.
totally,
So we
totally.
just keep building. Yeah, we keep innovating, and it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, arguably nothing is ever from scratch, right? We all, like, beg, borrow, and steal, and then morph it to fit whatever we're doing, right? Or,
Hmm.
we all have influences overall. I like how you said that you have your own monopoly. You have your own Zuby monopoly, and it's a very interesting perspective because, um, like you said, is that. Uh, People just kind of gravitate towards other people, and now that we have this ability to essentially maintain relationships with those that we don't even know at different levels, like,
Hmm.
I don't know if you did you watch The Last Dance the other day by chance, the Michael Jordan
Oh,
documentary, by chance, or no?
yeah.
Anyways, so there was this documentary a couple days ago with Michael Jordan, and it's going to be this 10-part series. But what was interesting is one of the things people were talking about after the fact is that nowadays you have this opportunity to have this relationship with people, celebrities or whatever, kind of like at this hand's distance, because you're able to see and just kind of emulate or understand, and that just wasn't with the tools that were around in the past. You obviously couldn't do that. So yeah, I think it's really interesting how you're kind of thinking through that overall.